Hi there, this is Tammy Cho, CEO of Paths of the Heart. And for those that don't know me, I help high achieving entrepreneurs and leaders remove the hidden blocks to step into their authentic, energetic leadership so they can move from hustling to more flow without sacrificing the results, but also their authentic self. And today I wanted to jump in here to talk about breaking down barriers to creating more of this flow. I see something that is often under the surface again and again for people that keep us in this loop, in this cycle of overdoing, over pushing, um, to the extent that when you're in it, right, you don't notice that over time you're actually not really moving forward. Or maybe you already know, right, like that when you do your accounting at the end of the year, with all the checks and balances, you're not making the profit that you feel like you need to be. Sometimes we just go through life and it's like we're not connected to the amount of unfulfillment we actually have, and all of these things affect our energy, right? It affects our flow. And so what happens is that when there's a space within ourselves that, we're moving towards our next level. And I wanted to share a little bit about my story because as I'm stepping into creating this new style of leadership called authentic energetic leadership, it's something that I've been doing again and again and sort of supporting my clients. And I'm realizing that it is a form of leadership, of energetic leadership. And this matters so much because with my story, just in stepping into it, of accepting my own power in that. And there was a place where I was like, oh, telling myself there's all these pieces that I didn't have together yet. I don't know how to talk about this, like all these things, right? And what was missing was that I wasn't actually stepping into the energetics of my own power. And I see this again and again in my clients. And obviously, when I'm in it, I didn't really see it in the moment, right? But I was working with a client who had actually everything aligning for her and things like that in a way that she couldn't see because she was blindsided because she didn't step into actually receiving her power and her self love. And so when we are not in the energy of actually receiving love for ourselves and then seeing that we actually have the power to walk towards what we want, it doesn't matter if we're doing all these tasks above it. It's like you'll always kind of feel stuck because we can only create what we are in the energy of. So what we are creating in our life is based on the energetics at every single level. But when we're not ignoring the energetic levels, and we're focusing on the mindset and the strategies and taking action. However, and we're not stepping back into realizing that, wait a minute, am I actually accepting, what is it maybe that I have right now? Like I've seen people get stuck not accepting that everything is actually right in front of them, but they're actually not letting it in energetically. So you can see this dynamic that gets created that they're go, do, and yet energetically they're pushing it away. Sometimes I see this show up as someone literally, it's like their worthiness level, being able to energetically step into self love and acceptance. If they're not in that energy, it's like everything they're creating, there's self criticalness, perfectionism coming up. Have a lot of people, clients that say that they're recovering perfectionists. And oftentimes they're working on the outside layers, like, okay, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to stop doing this. But when they actually haven't stepped into the energetics of a deeper self love and worthiness, the same thing happens, right? They're do, go, but they're actually creating the same impact, the same results. And, this has people pulling their hair again and again. And it's really not until they start to. I guide my clients back into like embodying who they are, where they're coming back to the body to actually feel and sense and to learn what the energy is. Because guess what? Not everyone knows what self love feels like. Like many of the high achievers I work with, they are used to being really independent. They have all their pieces aligned, their leader at home and their leader at work, they got their shit together. and they got used to having everything laid out, controlled in a certain way, But the next evolution of leadership is actually learning how to receive. And there's vulnerability in that. And it takes a leader in self leading ourselves to be vulnerable enough to admit that something is not working, and you have enough strategies, all along the years to know that, I don't think it's this. That voice that tells you it's something deeper. This is where the next evolution of leadership needs to be birthed, to not ignore the energetic parts of our soul, our heart, and our body, right? Because oftentimes we could keep on going and getting results. I'm not saying that you can't create results that way, but it's always at the expense of yourself. And this is why every time you're moving through business, through life, whether that's relationships in your business, through the different levels of expansion, right? Eventually you hit a block, energetic block that you don't know what it is. And it all comes down to this ability to receive the energy you must step forward in. Like for myself, it's like I was very big into really building my worthiness love. That's a big, um, lesson of mine this lifetime. I could, see it in my face reading as I tune into my body to know, okay, this is a life lesson, and this is my ability to keep on loving myself again and again. And when I evolve, I needed to step into yet another level of my power, because having love and wanting to make a difference without recognizing your own power, it doesn't work, right? Because you're not then taking action towards it. And this is the hidden barrier that we all experience, whether that's stepping into your self love, deeper worthiness, or stepping into your power. And guess what? When you haven't necessarily, experienced that next level of power, that that matters, because and then there's no resources within your embodiment and your capacity to do that, right? And so it's really important to learn to build the state of energy within yourself, and to understand how energetic works, and to not push when it's not going to give you the results, to actually slow down, to really see yourself and life in a different way. And this is all written in our bodies. This is all written in our facial features, in the way we walk, the way we breathe. And are we conscious enough every day to acknowledge and be present to this? And of course, as humans, we will fall off and on. Will you have the level of self love and worthiness to forgive and have that gentleness, yet be able to hold yourself with that power, with that masculine power? Because one side of our body represents our masculine energy, and one side is our feminine energy, right? It's all in our body. And if we're just present to ourselves, to our energy, our emotions, our energetics, our embodiment in moving forward towards our goals, right? That's when the ease and flow happens. It's not at the expense of ourselves. And based on the fact that their burnout is just on the rise, everyone talks about it, and yet no one has, it's not no one, right? But like, it's so important to address, to make it a non-negotiable. Because whenever I do this for myself and I step into a deeper receiving within myself, right, that's when the abundance and flow and ease opens up for me again and again without fail. And so this is a really important thing. Are you willing to step aside from what everyone else is doing to do what is right for you, even when it doesn't make sense at a mind level, right? This is what is so important. Are you willing to be unique in yourself and stand in your authenticity and create a life where you're not sacrificing yourself and you're building results, knowing that you're honoring all of this body, mind, heart, soul connection without neglecting yourself? And through that, and stepping into, obviously our energetics of manifestation into our authentic energetic leadership, that's when the flow happens. And at that point, the biggest thing is actually stepping into our heart deeper and deeper, and to just allow ourselves to desire more and more. And this is the beauty of it, because we get to come back on ourselves and expand our journey, step into self actualization in our self leadership, and lead our impact from that way. Anyways, obviously, I'm very excited about this and this journey that I'm so blessed to guide people through. And so, if you are resonating with this message, like, please reach out. Let's have a chat. Um, yeah, it's this is life. This life is for you. It's creating your life in a way that matters to you, aligned to who you really are in your uniqueness. And so, yeah, I love to speak to you. Please leave any comments, any questions about what I spoke about. I know we come on lives and we have a certain topic. I may have gone off a little bit, but I am, yeah, this feels right. I feel like so much flow right now. So, lots of love to you. I'm wishing you an amazing weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye.